congrats. Do you guys change much if TJ can't play? Obviously, he's an important part of the defense. What kind of happens there?
Obviously we got to make adjustments, but I think there's a lot of confidence in that group especially. To have a rotation already with TJ, Alex, Herb, and Jack has been pretty special. And now we just get to rely on our depth in that.
Have you been in contact with him at all?
Yes.
On a human perspective, I mean, how tough and kind of scary is the situation that he's dealing with just for, all of you guys, just someone you've known for a long time?
Yeah. TJ is a really good friend of mine, and, the one thing we always care about is just how the man is doing, and you never want to hear anything like that ever happen, but, more concerned with just how he's doing on a friend level and as a brother.
Cam out. How is he doing? How is he doing?
We talked this morning, but that's not for me to describe. I think I'm just happy I get the chance to talk to him.
Cam, injuries obviously have played a lot into Alex this season, but what kind of impact has he made when he's been able to be out there for you guys?
Well, Alex is one of those players that can play run and pass. There's not a deficiency in his game. The conversations we have in studying our opponents, he's really just stepped that up this year, I think, especially. And we're just going to need more of it. We look for him to step up as a leader in that group. Nick and Jack all have to be a part of it as well.
What would it mean for you guys if you're able to get Derek back on Monday night?
I haven't even thought about it. I think whenever Derek's ready, we will welcome him with open arms. But I can't really contemplate or really think about who's not going to be there or anything. It's just we go with the guys we got, and we got to get the job done.
There's a big difference in the run totals that you've given up when he plays versus when he doesn't. How much is he a factor in that, or is it the opponent that the numbers have been such a disparity?
I think both can be a combination of it. I think Derek is very stout. We're having guys that are learning and coming along very well, but it's kind of the same with DJ. You can't just go out there and replace him. You got to have other guys step up, and it's more done by committee.
Is the run defense a concern after the last two games?
Run defense is a concern, but we got a hell of a challenge. We get to play the Miami Dolphins that have a really good run game. A-Chain is, one of those top backs in the leagues that when he gets going, the whole team feels it. And you've seen the last 5 weeks, that's the reason why they're winning games.
With A-Chain, is it him getting to the outside that really separates him maybe from some other backs?
Him getting to the outside, but I think the thing that really separates him is his contact balance. The fact that he's able to run through tackles. That New York Jets game, if you watch it, it's pretty disparaging if you just listen to it with the sound on. But a lot of respect for those guys. From where they were at the beginning of the season to where they are now, they came a long way.
What's it going to be like to see Minkah on the other side there? Do you keep in much contact with
Yeah,
him?
Minkah's pretty locked in these days, but I just remember all the memories and appreciative of not only working with him but getting to know him, and I'm sure we'll line up against each other on field goal block. So I'm at my hands full.
Kim, you've played for the same head coach your entire career. There aren't very many players in the league that can say that. What does having stability like that from the top down do for a player and for a locker room?
Understand the message going into any situation. And I just think through that, culture breathes itself. It's not like something gets changed and then the whole locker room is in flux. We know where we stand. We know what's asked of us, and I think we like to be challenged in that way.
I know you never want to see one of your friends in the hospital. Have you talked to TJ? How's he doing, and how are you feeling about it right now?
Yeah, that's my dog. Praying for him, praying that everything's gonna be all right.
How much do things change if he can't play?
I think, TJ's done a great job of being a leader, not just in the room, but in the whole building and organization. I think he rubs off on a lot of people in the right way. And and I'm not worried at all because we have great guys, great leaders that'll pick up that slack for Tej. And I think that he's prepared not just myself, but a bunch of the younger guys in that sense to be able to take on that larger role, not just as a player, but as a leader, and bringing that energy and just doing everything that he does right.
How much do you think you're ready to step up and be that energy giver? I mean, the two of you guys can really get after it and create that energy together. Is that something that, you know, you're ready to step into if needed?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's been kind of the name of the game my career since I've been here, like just being able to stay ready, never knowing your number's going to get called, never know when you're going to have opportunities to help the team in a bigger role. So I think that's kind of been, you know, my story. And I accept that. I accept my role on this team, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help.
You guys have dealt with these challenges at positions with injuries so far this year. Is this just, do you guys just look at it as, okay, we all got to step up again, another one of our guys is down?
Yeah, you know, next man up mentality, keeping the standard, and you know, I know that TJ has full trust in me and the room and the group that we're going to be able to, you know, pick up the slack for him. And obviously, you can't replace a guy like that. You know, a Hall of Famer, the best in the league, the best to ever do it. It's hard to replace a guy like that, but we're going to do everything in our ability to make sure we do the right things by him.
What kind of a difference maker is Alex when he's healthy? You know, he's dealt with a lot of injuries, but what does he do for you guys when he's out there and he's able to play?
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw it last game. That's a clear representation of who he is. You know, the type of plays he provides, the type of splash he makes, like game on the line, like he go make a play for us. Like that's who Alex is. That's who he's been his whole career. There's a reason he's been here as long as he has and why he's had multiple contracts. And, you know, I'm surprised he doesn't even have a Pro Bowl or none of that. Like, dude, that dude's a baller. You know, love seeing him healthy, balling out. And we all knew that that's what he does. Everybody knows that.
You know, Tua is from Hawaii. You're from Hawaii. He does not play great in cold weather. Have you been able to adapt to cold weather? It's going to be cold out there on Monday. Is that something you're looking forward to going against him when, you know, maybe you guys have an edge playing this all the time?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I went to Wisconsin, so kind of got used to the cold in that sense. So it's whatever at this point.
Nick, did facing a lefty last week 6 kind of help you out at all for this game? Is it weird facing a guy who throws from the other side?
I mean, yeah, it's different. You know, different angles, different stance in looking for the ball, and you know, his escape angles and where he's looking and feeling pressured from. So it's definitely different, but I think we got great coaches and great players around to help with that.
Now, what stands out about their run game? I mean, it seems like they've got that center kind of pulling around a lot and taking out linebackers, edge guys. Is it pretty creative what they do?
Yeah, and I think it starts at 28. He's a beast. You know, he's fast. He's got elite speed, elite skill. He's an elite running back in the NFL, so we're going to have to contain him for sure.
You know, I know you never want to see one of your teammates in the hospital. Have you talked to TJ and how's he doing?
Yeah, I just texted him to check up on him. You know, I think, you know, he's doing well, and you know, it's so possible that they play Sunday, and you know, we just, you know, I care about him more than a football player too. So you never want to see something like that happen, and you know what he means to us and this organization. So it's one of our brothers, and you know, hopefully, you know, he gets back soon and healthy.
Does he sound like he might play?
I have no idea. You know, I didn't even know what was going on until yesterday. So, like I said, I'm just, you know, praying for him, hoping he's feeling better, and you know, we miss him.
How much will things change without him out there if he doesn't play?
You know, I couldn't tell you that. You know, I know that, you know, when he is out there, he's, you know, one of the best to ever play. So, you know, when you have a guy like that out there, it's a game changer. So, you know, I think that, you know, what we're doing right now is just hoping he's getting better and feeling better, and just here praying for him.
Jack, if needed, do you feel ready for more snaps? How do you feel like you've progressed throughout this season?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm getting better each week and getting more comfortable with this level each week and the scheme and you know, just trying to help this team win any way I can.
I know Alex has obviously dealt with a lot of injuries this year, but when he's healthy, what kind of a difference does he make as an edge rusher?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best players in the league too. You know, I'm blessed to be in a room with you know, some of the best guys ever played the position, and a young guy who's playing just at a high of a level as anybody with Nick Herbig. So, you know, I'm in a great spot with these guys, being able to learn from them. And when Alex is healthy, you know, he's a difference maker like you saw last week as well.